friends and neighbors, pinto beans, or soup beans as they're called in my area, is a wonderful, delicious, and budget-friendly meal. They can be used as a main course or as a side. And when it comes to adding flavor, there are unlimited options. I use 1 pound of dry pinto beans. I have a family of 5, and this makes a big enough batch that there's leftovers for the next day. To make a good pot of soup beans, you need to do a little prep the night before. Take your dry beans and add them to a large bowl, and then fill the bowl full of water. You want to give enough water that the beans can soak them up and expand. The next morning you want to strain the water from your beans, and then you want to rinse them and check them. Remove any of the beans that are discolored, and make sure there's no little rocks or pebbles. Sometimes that does happen. When I make a pot of soup beans, I cook them all day. I'll put them on first thing in the morning when I first get up. And I'll first turn them on a medium-low heat. And once they come up to a simmer, I'll turn the heat down to low and let them cook the rest of the day until supper time. I do stir them throughout the day just to make sure none of them stick to the bottom of the pot. And if you don't have a lid for your pot, you do want to watch it and make sure the water doesn't boil out. You may have to add extra liquid throughout the day. When it comes to adding flavor to your beans, there's a variety of options you can choose. On this day, I'm using spare rib trimmings that my husband smoked the day before. You can also use things like a ham bone if you've had a ham. Save the bone and use it for soup beans. They make delicious beans. Salt pork is another great option. I've also used things like regular bacon and Polish sausage, and they've turned out good too. You can't have soup beans without cornbread, so let's make some cornbread. First, we need to preheat our oven to 400 degrees, and then I'm going to take an 8-inch cast iron skillet. You can also use a 9-inch round pan if you don't have a skillet. And I'm going to add a spoon of bacon drippings, and then put it in the oven to preheat. Then to a large bowl, we're going to add our dry ingredients. I'm going to add in 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 cup of yellow cornmeal, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to mix that all together. Now it's time for our wet ingredients. I'm going to take a cup of milk, add in 1 egg, and 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. You can also use bacon drippings here if you want to substitute for the oil. And then we're going to mix that together and add it to our dry ingredients. Once our oven has come to temperature, we're going to take out our skillet and add in our cornbread mixture. And then we're going to bake for about 20 to 25 minutes, or until the center is done. To check if your beans are done and ready to eat, they should be soft and not crunchy. And you can also taste them at this point to see if you want to add any extra salt. Once the cornbread is done, I like to turn it out onto a plate to serve it. You don't have to do this step, but if you do, just be careful not to burn yourself. You do want to be careful if you're using something like the ribs like I did, that you don't accidentally give a little one a bone with their bowl of soup beans. Once everything is done, you're ready to eat. I like to crumble my cornbread into my bowl of soup beans. And if you like things on the spicy side, you can add hot sauce. Well friends, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. And as always, I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.